Imagine working an entire month and receiving only 3,500 Nigerian nairas as your salary. That is the reality some Anambra civil servants say they faced after the state government reduced February pay for workers who stayed home on Mondays during the ongoing sit-at-home situation. The decision has triggered serious debate about governance, workers' welfare, and economic stability in the Southeast, an issue many Nigerians at home and in the diaspora are now watching closely. Here is what we know so far. A new development in Anambra State is generating strong reactions across Nigeria. The state government, under Governor Charles Soludo, has reduced the February salaries of some public sector workers who did not report to work on Mondays due to the ongoing sit-at-home directive observed in parts of the Southeast. For some workers, the deductions were significant, with reports indicating that a number of employees received as little as 3,500 Nigerian nairas for the entire month after the salary adjustments. The decision has sparked debate about governance, worker rights, and the continuing impact of the Monday sit-at-home situation on economic life in the region. If you follow Nigerian political developments and want balanced analysis on issues affecting citizens at home and Nigerians in the diaspora, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our updates. Let's begin with the core facts. The Anambra State Government confirmed that deductions were made from the February salaries of certain civil servants who did not report to work on Mondays. According to the state authorities, the decision is part of an effort to enforce compliance with official work schedules and discourage the continued observance of the sit-at-home order that has affected business and government activities across the Southeast. The Monday sit-at-home directive originally emerged several years ago as a protest action linked to political agitation in the region. Although the group initially associated with the directive later announced a suspension of the weekly action, many communities across the Southeast have continued to observe it due to security concerns, fear of disturbances, or community pressure. This has created a complicated situation for both workers and governments in the region. From the perspective of the Anambra State Government, Governor Charles Soludo has repeatedly stated that the sit-at-home practice is damaging the economy of the state and slowing down development. Since assuming office, the governor has emphasized the need to restore normal economic activity every day of the week, including Mondays. State officials have argued that government workers are expected to be present at their duty post unless they are on approved leave. According to this position, salaries are tied to actual attendance and service delivery. As a result, the government says the deductions reflect what it describes as a no work, no pay principle. However, many workers see the situation differently. Some civil servants say they stayed at home not out of defiance against the government but because of safety concerns. Over the years, there have been reports of disturbances and enforcement attempts linked to the sit-at-home directive in some parts of the region, which has created uncertainty about public movement on Mondays. Workers who fall into this category argue that they are caught in the middle of a broader regional issue that has not yet been fully resolved. Labor voices within the state have also begun discussing the matter. Some labor representatives have expressed concern about the financial impact on workers, particularly those whose salaries were reduced to extremely small amounts after deductions. For example, reports that some workers received only about 3,500 Nigerian nairas have drawn attention nationwide because of what that figure represents in the context of the cost of living in Nigeria today. Even a modest monthly salary typically supports transportation, food, housing contributions, and family needs. When significant deductions occur, it can create serious pressure for workers who rely on their earnings to support their household. At the same time, government officials maintain that the policy is intended to restore normal working conditions and ensure that public institutions remain functional throughout the week. Governor Soludo has consistently argued that the sit-at-home practice harms small businesses, traders, transport operators, and daily wage earners who depend on Monday activities for income. Markets across the Southeast often experience low activity on Mondays, and some commercial areas remain closed altogether. This means that the economic consequences extend beyond government offices. For small traders and shop owners, losing one full business day every week can translate into a substantial drop in monthly earnings. Supporters of the government's position therefore say the administration is trying to break a cycle that has weakened the regional economy for several years. But critics believe that policies affecting salaries should take into account the security realities faced by workers. They argue that before enforcing strict attendance measures, authorities must ensure that workers feel fully safe to travel and work on Mondays. This is why the current development has triggered debate not only within Anambra State but also among Nigerians across the country. The issue touches on several important national conversations. First, it highlights the ongoing challenge of balancing governance decisions with public security concerns. Second, it raises questions about how state governments can restore normal economic activity in regions where unofficial restrictions or community pressures continue to influence daily life. Third, it reflects the wider impact of political tensions on ordinary citizens who are simply trying to maintain their livelihoods. For Nigerians living abroad, in countries such as the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and across Europe, developments like this are closely watched because they reflect the stability of institutions and the strength of economic systems back home. Many members of the diaspora support family members who live in states like Anambra, so issues affecting salaries, jobs, and regional economic activity can have ripple effects that reach beyond Nigeria's borders. It also matters from a broader national perspective. Nigeria's long-term economic progress depends on consistent productivity across all regions of the country. When a major commercial region operates below its full capacity for one day every week, the cumulative effect can be significant over time. That is why several political analysts say the Anambra situation represents more than a local labor dispute. It reflects a larger conversation about how government authority, community dynamics, and economic realities intersect in modern Nigeria. Another important aspect of this story is public perception. Governor Soludo came into office with a strong reputation as an economist and former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. His administration has frequently emphasized policies aimed at modernization, investment, and improved infrastructure. Supporters say enforcing regular work schedules is consistent with that vision of a productive, organized economy. But public reactions to the salary deductions suggest that communication and engagement with workers may play a crucial role in how the policy is received going forward. Many observers believe that dialogue between government officials and labor representatives could help clarify expectations while also addressing workers' concerns about safety and fairness. Across Nigeria, labor disputes and salary issues have historically required negotiation processes to reach balanced outcomes. Whether such discussions will take place in this case remains to be seen. Meanwhile, the broader question remains, how quickly can the Southeast region fully return to normal weekday economic activity? The answer will likely depend on several factors, including improved security confidence, public cooperation, and continued dialogue between government authorities and community leaders. For Anambra specifically, the coming weeks may reveal whether the salary deductions influence worker attendance on Mondays or whether further policy adjustments will be needed. What is clear is that the issue has drawn national attention because it highlights the everyday realities faced by civil servants and the complexities of governance during challenging circumstances. As Nigerians continue to debate this development, many will be watching closely to see how both the government and labor groups respond. The outcome could shape not only workplace policies in Anambra but also how other states approach similar challenges in the future. And for millions of Nigerians at home and abroad, it raises an important question about how economic productivity, public safety, and government authority can be balanced in a way that protects both livelihoods and stability. Thank you for watching. If you value balanced reporting that explains major Nigerian political developments in clear and straightforward terms, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share it with others who want to stay informed about the issues shaping Nigeria today.